Switch lanes, wish was on the same, but my aim to take my name and brand it. Landry famous, handed down to generations. Don't have limitations, preparing the fan for all the celebrations.
In the mirror with me, love myself, feeling free. G-O-D is inside of me. In the mirror with me, love myself, feeling free. G-O-D is inside of me. Most feel threatened by your presence. It's the God in you that keep you going. Down 10 times, get up 11 and you keep on going. Glow up, glow up, glow up, glow up, yeah, yeah. Glow up, glow up, glow up, glow up, yeah, yeah.
Yo, 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 this is Big Boxx.
Well, Boxx.
Welcome to episode 3 of Connis Universe of the Autism Season 2. Picking up where we left off. How you feeling today, son?
All right.
You feeling all right? You ready to dig off into this for the Autism Awareness Month? Really trying to educate people and give them pointers, tips, and tools when dealing with autism, right?
Yes, quite possible.
Quit leaning on the table. You're sliding the table. All right? There you go. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. So just going into it, we spoke briefly on people really needing to, what may be needed from your peers and cohorts to know more about autism. So now we're going to get into more like educating on autism acceptance. And I have an opinion on where I think it needs to start when it comes to your peers and people that go to school with you, as far as the way they're treating you and as far as the way they do treat other kids and teenagers that's on the spectrum as well. What do you think the educating of acceptance and being respectful and loving, what do you think that starts?
It just starts with us teaching them about it.
All right. And where do you think, and that's a great thing, and we're going to basically get into that. That's something I definitely want to get into. But mainly, I'm saying, where does it start? As far as, where do you think it starts as far as respecting the next person, showing the next person respect and love? Where do you think any person should learn that from?
Like the typical ones.
The typical ones. So if they're kids, who's the typical authority in their lives? They're who?
Their parents.
There you go. And that's the answer I was looking for. And that was the leading me into that. And for you to be on autism and people say, well, people autistic X, Y, and Z may not understand this, and they do understand that. And this is coming from a parent with an autistic child. And this is coming from someone who now understanding what autism is, I can pinpoint in people that I grew up with, I came up with, and I know that had autism or may have been on the spectrum. And my background was a street guy. And even within being a street guy, going to school and after school, becoming a young adult, I never disrespected any person. I'm from a place where being disrespectful, you can lose your life, seriously. So I've never disrespected anyone. And so this is my time to address the elephant in the room, so to speak, with kids now. So now we're seeing more and more kids on the spectrum. Now and more, we're seeing more information about kids and teenagers being on the spectrum, and they're not being accepted or being bullied or being ridiculed or being teased or being ostracized. And this is something that we went through with Lil Boxx previously in elementary and middle school, and now in high school. It was some things said, you know, some things to put certain students in their place as well. But it takes a lot for me not to put my hands on those children, parents. And that's what I have to, and my wife have to, and I have to pray to keep myself, because I believe that love, affection, being taught correctly, and also being aware of others and their differences start from parents teaching the children in the home to do that to other kids, to when you see that they're not like you, and understanding differences, and just also understanding that life is rough in general. and the things people have to deal with. So that's something I should say, is that autism awareness and autism acceptance should be taught by parents and authority figures in the home. So when your children get to school, whatever they may be going through in their house, they're gonna not project that on other students, because it's a lot of students that will project their ways onto my child and treat him a certain way. And he's a nice, loving, caring guy. Now, yes, sometimes I do have to talk to Lil Boxx and let him know certain things you invite ridicule for yourself. So don't put yourself in positions to where you're opening yourself up for somebody to the dozens of Jones on you in a sense like that. So when you do stuff like that, I kind of say, okay, you put yourself in that situation. But when they outright attack my son or say things like one time recently, my daughter walked up to one guy saying he just want to yank Lil Boxx locks out his head. My daughter overheard it while she's walking next to him. It's a whole group of them. And I would love to sit down and meet their father and look him in his eye and see what kind of man he is to raise kids like that. But that's another story. That's another story. You ain't got to say their names, but you can speak on whatever thing. Huh?
Excuse me?
What?
Some punk kid wasn't...
I'm just speaking on it. You could just calm down. Just calm down. Then this is what we're doing. This is what autism awareness is for. Is that we're going to speak on it. We ain't got to say names. We ain't got to say anything. But we're going to speak on the things that actually happen. And then we're going to go more into detail in different episodes on what we think can be done to make people aware of kids with autism, kids that's on autism on the spectrum. Because dealing with Lil Boxx, I already said, if they tell you anything, just keep it moving. It's when they put their hands on you, then you know what you could do. And it's documented and well written on what happens and what's been told to you and how people treat you in a certain way. But the way you rise to the occasion, the way you stand up for yourself and the way you keep it moving, I applaud you for that. And I respect you for that. And you are a hero within yourself dealing with that. You understand? Mm-hmm. So to ride out the rest of this episode, since I talked so much, how do you deal with those things? And how does that make you feel?
So sometimes I just retreat out that situation or do something about it.
Okay. All right. And you'll just speak up for yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. How does it make you feel when those students do you that, when other students do you that?
Sometimes they get...
Speak in the microphone.
Sometimes they just take me off.
It ticks you off? It takes a lot for you not to react, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes you do have to tell them and put them in their place, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever had to tell any of them, like, look, I got autism, that's why I'm like this. Mm-hmm. Why are you so mean, or why are you treating me this way? Have you ever told any of them that?
No, just because they never act like that yet.
They never act as if they're worried about it. So since they're not worried about you, you're not worrying about them in a sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. It takes a lot of strength for you to do that. You know, majority of the time, I don't see how it affects you. But when I do see how it affects you, I'm glad that you're starting to open up to me more and more, and we're able to really talk about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And as far as that, it's like a minute and a half left. Around that subject matter, is there anything else you want to speak on? This is your chance. It's Autism Awareness Month.
No, this one time.
Don't say a name, but you could give an idea. But if you give that thought, give away how you was able to correct the situation. You got 1 minute. Go ahead.
One time, I was in English class, and one of my students just walked up to me and pulled my head up, and we're just face to face close to each other. I just wished I did something about it. I just don't know why they would do that.
I understand, and I told you usually when stuff like that happens, you know what to do. But a lot of times you'll just tear yourself up trying to just think about what you should have done. And now you know now what to do going forward, right? All right. So we're going to end this episode off, and then on to the next. It's Connis Universe of the Autism. One life, one love, one God.
Be royalty.
Peace.
Boxx-A-Million.
Boxx-A-Million. Boxx-A-Million.
Mighty Lion of Judah.